Okay, good morning. Some of you guys have been struggling with number 8 on homework 6.1, and so I just wanted to do an example. This isn't the example from number 8, but it is one like that. And so, yeah, let's just go through it. And so we want to find a perpendicular bisector that goes through the segment with the endpoints of 2, 0, and 8, 4. So if I have a grid, and right here is 2, 0, and out here is 8, 4, and I have that segment, I am really looking for the line that is going like this. So we know a couple things from that. First off, we know we want it to be perpendicular. So I have that. I want to be perpendicular. And how do we do that? We know that the slope, the perpendicular slope, is opposite reciprocal. So I need to first find the slope of these. So the slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x. So from 0 to 4, I grow by 4. And from 2 to 8, I grow by 6, making my slope equal to 2/3. So I know that my perpendicular slope will equal, well, I'm going to take the opposite of this, so I'm going to flip it. I'm going to have 3/2. And then since that's the reciprocal, now we're going to look at opposite. And opposite is going to be, if this is positive, my opposite is going to be negative. And you can kind of see that in the picture. If you look here, my slope of this one is a positive slope, and the slope of this one is a negative slope. So this gets me my perpendicular. Now we want to do the bisector. So my bisector means that this is going to be equal to this, making this the midpoint. So with that being the midpoint, I simply want to go ahead and try to find the midpoint of these 2 points. And so I look at what is halfway between 0 and 4. What is halfway between 2 and 8. So remember, to find the midpoint, to find halfway, I'm going to take 2 plus 8 divided by 2 for my x, and then for my y, I'll take 0 plus 4 divided by 2. And that gets me 5, 2. So this is my midpoint. That is the point that's right there. So now we know that my slope is -3/2, and I know my point is 5, 2. So now to find the line, I can say that I want some y equal to -3/2 plus some x, times some x, and then I'm going to have something back here. So we plug it in, and I have that y, not y, let me get my eraser, that my y value of 2, so I'm going to place 2 here, is equal to -3/2 times my x value of 5. And good thing is we're not afraid of fractions, and so I know that this is going to say 2 equals -15 divided by 2. 3 times 5 is 15 divided by 2, which is the same thing as 2 equals -7/2. We know that 2 does not equal -7/2, and so we have to figure out what would make it equal to 2. And if I add on, let me try a different color here. If I add 9/2, -7/2 plus 9/2 will get me the +2. So I know that my slope is 9.5. So or my y-intercept, I'm sorry. This line right there is the line. A couple mistakes that I've seen are people are taking the slope of this segment, but they are not taking the opposite reciprocal. And then I've also seen people take the reciprocal, but not the opposite. And the good news is that one's not a negative. Not a fraction. But make sure that when you enter that one, you do a y equals mx plus b, where you change the m and the b. And that'll be your answer. Don't forget that I'll be on office hours today, March 25th, from 1 to 2. So you guys can click on the link in the announcement today if you guys want to come in and ask more questions. Other than that, keep working.